you get honored here in Locarno with this
Right.
golden leopard.
Right.
What does that really mean to a filmmaker if he gets honored?
I mean, the film is being shown, or other movies are being shown. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's a good question. I mean, it's like, I mean, I don't want to be glib about it. It's like, you know, I mean, I don't live for awards. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't get that many, so it's a good thing. But you know, it's all part of the gig. You know what I mean? I mean, you're making these films to show them. I mean, you know, you're not making these films for them not being shown. So that's the trip. So as long as, you know, yeah, I mean, I support the whole festival situation, and you know, it gives me an opportunity to work and to keep working. And this is how films are financed. These are films how films are distributed.
That's an amazing going there.
It's a great spot for interviews though here. Because everything is on the tape.
Yeah, all
Okay,
right, but you
just-
can hear me,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I'm sure. All right.
So, a lot of films of yours deal in a way with religion or with religious aspects. You yourself were raised Catholic. What is your approach to religion today?
I mean, you know, I take a spiritual approach to life, so, you know, I mean, as a basis, I mean, you know, being taught about Jesus Christ is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, you know, how I was taught, you know, being in a room with a bunch of nuns as a young boy, I don't know, and 50 other young boys, I don't know, who knows, you know, I mean, it is what it is. But you know, I mean, listen, more people become atheists by starting, you know, on a religious life, or being, you know, kind of spoon-fed religion at, you know, at such a young age, right? So, but, you know, at this point, you know, I seek, you know, just a whole spiritual outlook on life, you know, and you know, who I am and where I'm at and what you know, and what is my role on earth, you know.
Did you ever consciously try to work with that who I am stuff in your movies?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all we work with, you know. That's what it's all about, you know. You know what I mean? And who we are, and you know, and you know, who and what you are, and the life you lead. That's what these films are about, you know, irregardless of what the ideas are, or, you know, what the stories ultimately end up being. You know, I mean, that's, you know, the creative flow, and you know, it's just based on you know, how much you value, you know, who you are, and your relationship to the people that you love, and your relationship to the, you know, anybody. You know, it's why would you even make a film? You know, what are you trying to communicate? What is it that, you know what I mean? What is it that, you know, do you either have compassion or you don't? You know? And, you know, that's where it's at. And I think, you know, you can't force the subject matter, but you could, you can't not, the camera doesn't lie. I mean, the camera's going to reflect what you are, and the people that you're going to be around, and who they are. You know what I mean? The camera's filming you're being filmed right now as much as I am. You know.
Another point where you get honored for your films, for your life. Do you know who you are yet? Have you come to a point where you know who you are?
No, I mean, we're just in the, you know, we're just working away like we've always have. So I don't get what our, you know, a lifetime achievement. Our life is not. I mean, maybe you could win this award twice. That's the joke, right? To be honored 2 times with a Lifetime Achievement Award. But I'm 60 years old, so it's not like we're kids, But, we're just making films now like we always have. So.
When you go back, for example, to this, I think, short film that you did in the 70s with your then girlfriend, like it was like a porno or something, and then you go to Bad Lieutenant, and then you go to Mary, let's say. What is the film that that brought you the most joy when you finished it? Not of these three only, but of all your films, of course.
They all bring the same joy, and that becomes like an addictive thing. You know what I mean? The sense of satisfaction of finishing it, and to have a dream and to have a vision and to see it through to the end. That's like the greatest feeling in the world. Because it's a sense of accomplishment. It's irregardless of how good the film is or not good, and it doesn't matter if it's in festivals or not in festivals. That all matters later on. But there's just a sense of satisfaction that you've completed a film. That you were able to take a vision and bring it to the other end. So in that regard, they're all like kind of the same. That feeling is the best feeling.
Could be like giving birth.
Climbing a mountain.
Yeah, right. Yeah. For a man, as a man, I wouldn't know what giving birth was like, but I haven't climbed a mountain either. But,
You haven't climbed a mountain?
well, small mountains, small hills.
You very often touched.
Midtown Manhattan, New York was built on a hill.
You very often touched like themes like from the underworld, like corrupt cops or sex and drugs, things like that. What is the idea behind the dark, so to speak, the dark sides of?
Yeah, but these things come from, they come from the basic, the idea of the movie. We generate our own material, so I don't know whether it's the life we live in, the life we're watching, the life we're reading about, whatever it is. And then once the vision comes of the film, the ideas of the film come, then you got to pursue it, and then pursue it in the real way. So, all these things are there and they're out there. You tend not to try to corral your vision, your ideas.
Speaking of visions and things that are out there, there's a lot of films dealing with, alien invasion or dystopia, utopia things. Your new film list, 444,
Yeah.
it's also dealing with the kind of stuff. Why do you think that's so popular? Or what does it mean to you?
It means that, these ideas don't come so much from inside you as from outside. When your antenna is up, obviously everyone is, part of the zeitgeist, and you feel it, and you feel where it is that, for whatever reasons, it's happened before. We're making vampire movies, everyone's making it, it's something, and now I know there's a certain kind of thing that's just, it's in the air, it's part of the you know what I mean, the creative spirit, and we're feeling it like other people. It just seems an important thing right now
Is that a kind
to
of
do.
anxiety you feel, like the world can come to an end, or like?
Well, obviously it can happen, and it always can happen. But why right now everyone's kind of focusing in on to do, to make a film about it? I don't know.
Because of 2012 and the end of the Mayan
That's,
calendar.
that's a good, I'm sure that's part of it.
But can you say something about this new film? Is it just shot in one room? I read. Is that true?
No, it's not. It's shot in. It's about a relationship, about a couple. Shannon, my old lady, and Willem Dafoe. They live in they live in a loft in New York, and it's outside. No, it's not. It's all shot in one room, but they're basically together, and they're not looking at the last 12 hours of their life. They're not looking for to be throwing any parties. You know, they're basically together. They're seeing the outside world through the internet, through cable TV, through Skype. You know, and it's mainly about their relationship and how they, you know, and what, you know, that's what it's about, and how they confront the end of the world as a couple.
How do you think, like, media like Skype or Facebook has an effect on relationships between men and women, maybe, or between humans?
Big time, you know, big time, big time. You know, I mean, you know, God only knows, you know, what the end result of the internet's going to be. I mean, I know how much it affects the business. I know how much it affects filmmaking, you know. So, I mean, it's the world we're living in, you know. So, so the film basically is dealing with that.
When you did films where you were hired as a director, was that different for you to work from now when you are like expressing yourself more freely as an artist? Did you have any limitations on certain projects?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, in the beginning, we made films where we didn't have final cuts, so, which to me was a waste of time, you know. And, you know, I mean, looking back at it, I don't even know if I would have gotten involved in it. But, you know, that was then and this is now. But, you know, at a certain point we realized, you know, films are not about compromise on any level, you know. And, I mean, you can't even be one, you know, so. You know, it's a whole different bag. But at the same time, we do ideas that come to us. I mean, Chelsea Hotel, Napoli. These were ideas that were presented to us, you know. But once you decide to do it, then you make it your own, you know.
You even did some TV series work. Like
sure, we did a lot. We did stuff that never got shown, never put out.
You know. Even 2 episodes of Miami Vice, right?
Yeah, sure.
How do you look at that from today?
I looked at it as a job, you know, and it was a way that I, you know, made relationships that ended up, you know, paying off in a positive. Well, I don't know. My relationship with Hollywood is, you know, financially was positive, emotionally was disruptive, you know, insane. You know, again, these are things I wouldn't have done again, you know.
What was the worst thing about Hollywood for you personally?
You know, you can't mix your dreams and you know, I mean, I grew up, you know, with a certain kind of film, and films meant a certain thing to me, and it had nothing to do with either earning a living or making somebody a lot of money. And the minute, you know, what you take as sacred and you start mixing it up with is not, it takes a heavy toll on your psyche, you know. It takes a real extreme toll on you as a person. And, you know, I mean, it was a bad time in my life, you know what I mean?
What feelings did you have when you first heard that that Bad Lieutenant was gonna be made again back then in 2008, I think?
I was angry at, you know, the producer, because that film was made with a lot of love and affection. It was made with the understanding that that film was owned by the people who made it, not by one producer who then benefited on a big-time financial way. I mean, I ain't got a problem with Werner Herzog. I don't have a problem with Nick, you know. I mean, maybe Harvey should have a problem with it, but I understand Nick. You know what I mean? So I ain't got a problem with Nick, but I got a problem with the guys who financially benefited from something that was ours. You know?
Do you play that?
I'm gonna play it tonight, 9:30.
Can you give us an example?
Hey, cool. How's that? Hey,
Thank you very
nothing.
much.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.